Hello everyone, welcome back to Fight Tonight channel. This is fake. Shakur Stevenson denies a stunning rumor about Gervonta Davis fight. Shakur Stevenson has shut down claims that a fight between him and Gervonta Davis is already set for November 23rd. The American lightweight rivals are being heavily linked with a unification clash later this year after Gervonta's planned next bout fell through. Davis, who holds the WBA lightweight world title, was initially hoping to make a long-awaited unification with IBF champ. However, he has opted not to fight for the remainder of this year. Therefore, WBC lightweight world champion Shakur Stevenson has now entered the frame to face Davis next. This week it has been claimed that a fight between the pair is a done deal and set for November 23rd. However, this is not the case. Stevenson took to social media to respond to these rumors, tweeting, "This is fake." Davis shortly beforehand tweeted a picture of a cap, also suggesting that the news was not true. The fight may materialize with talks believed to be quietly ongoing. As things stand tough, it's clear no deal is done. It's understood talk between long-time promoter rivals Bob Arum's Top Rank and Dale Heyman's PBC, who represent Davis, were going well. Shakur Stevenson was last in action early this month, earning a unanimous decision victory over Artem Arutyunyan to retain his WBC lightweight title. That bout was the last on his current contract with Top Rank, meaning the 27-year-old was able to explore other options and potentially signing to fight opponents locked in to deals with other promoters and broadcasters. The one fight that boxing fans were clamoring for was a showdown with Gervonta Davis, who competes under the PBC banner, most recently when he stopped Frank Martin in the 7th round to retain his WBA lightweight title in Las Vegas last month. A bout between the two undefeated Americans would be one of the biggest fights in the sport, but it seems boxing fans will have to wait even longer to see the potential showdown after it was reported by Boxing Sense that Shakur Stevenson has verbally agreed to take on William Zepeda. They state that despite the best efforts of Stevenson and his team, a bout with Gervonta has been unable to materialize, meaning they have now turned their attention to a showdown with Zepeda. Zepeda is 31-0 with 27 of those wins coming by knockout and has picked up stoppage victories over Giovanni Cabrera and Maxi Hages so far in 2024. While there isn't an official date or venue yet, it is believed that the most likely location could be on the undercard of the undisputed light heavyweight title fight between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol, which takes place in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia on October 12. The Riyadh season cards have now also expanded to around the world, beginning with Saturday's Terence Crawford vs Israel Madrimov event in Los Angeles, before Joshua takes on Daniel Dubois at Wembley Stadium in London on September 21st. Eddie Hearn expects Gervonta Davis to fight Shakur Stevenson. Eddie Hearn expects Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson to agree to a unification lightweight title. Hearn has been competing with the world's leading promoters to sign Stevenson after the 27-year-old became a free agent at the conclusion of his agreement with the Top Rank. I wouldn't be surprised to see Gervonta vs Shakur Stevenson because situations and circumstances are everything, Hearn told. Shakur's free agent is really to do a deal. Timing's everything. Hearn and Stevenson have been in talks over a promotional deal since the WBC champion made an appearance at the Matchroom promotion early in July. "I met with Shakur, a great team but really honest conversation," the promoter added. The conversation was, I would love to sign you, but I need to deliver the right fights for you, and if I can't deliver those fights for you, then maybe I'm not the guy to be with. We all agree with the real fights. I'm the right man for the job, but I've got to deliver the right fights. He will be here on Saturday, as well the rest of the world. If we can work with Shakur, I would love to work with Shakur, but it's got to be right for him, it's got to be right for us as well. On my part, I would love to be Shakur's promoter, because I think he's a great fighter, Hearn said. Gervonta Davis received response from Shakur Stevenson's team on possible fight. Shakur Stevenson's team is prepared to enter into negotiations with Gervonta Davis over a possible fight. All indications are that conversations were progressing well between Bob Arum's Top Rank and Al Haymon's PBC, who represent Gervonta Davis. Shakur Stevenson's zone manager Josh Dubin insists their phone lines are open. It's all up to Gervonta. The one thing about Shakur, he will take anyone you put in front of him, Dubin was told. We are here and waiting and ready to negotiate. Boxing Sense reported that there have been preliminary discussions between Gervonta and Shakur Stevenson's representatives. Out of Dubin declined to comment. We'll know how realistic is by how financially viable they make it for Shakur, he added. They know Shakur produces the highest rated ESPN card of the year, so they need to come correct. It's a fight Shakur really wants. He's been beginning for it for a long time. What Shakur wants to do, let me say, it plainly is to unify at 35 pounds. The logical fights to make that happen are to fight the champions. William Zepeda, who is ranked by all four major sanctioning bodies at 135 pounds, is expected to boxing another fighter next. The Mexican puncher has been ordered by the WBC to box Stevenson next, but his promoter Oscar De La Hoya has indicated that he will likely go down the WBO route. The WBO champion is a relatively easy fight to make, De La Hoya said. We will pursue that, and then, probably down the line, rather sooner than later, we will go up against Shakur. Shakur Stevenson has faced harder challenges than Gervonta Davis, elaborated Clarissa Shields. Perhaps 30 strength wins with 28 knockouts are not enough. Perhaps Gervonta Davis needs to pull off something truly extraordinary. Only then might Clarissa Shields change her views about him. Otherwise, the newly crowned heavyweight champion feels that the Baltimore is a notch below his New Jersey-born colleague Shakur Stevenson. Increasing reports suggest that talks for the lightweight title unification between the two champions could be in the offing. Unsurprisingly, talks are already swirling over who will emerge as the winner if a fight eventually materializes. Both Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis recently secured wins. The Olympic silver medalist emerged successful from his first title defense against Artyom Arutunian early this month. Gervonta, on the other hand, defeated Frank Martin to retain his lightweight championship. It's time to talk about title unification and greater glory. The GWAT owed to the defensive genius of Shakur Stevenson. Clarissa Shields was speaking with Saiga Talk. He shared her thoughts on Ryan Garcia and the whole scandal surrounding him. Then she also gave her 2 cents on women's sports. After the half-hour mark, the host asked her about the criticism that Shakur needs to work on his knockout skills. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.